Recently, I rewatched Scooby Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed, a not so very good movie from my childhood with a friend of mine. It was about what I had expected to see: bad CGI, cheesy moments, a surprisingly fun arc for Daphne, and it was also very colorful. But after all of our villains were unmasked, one mystery still haunted me.
Doesn't randomonium glow, like those footprints we saw in Wickles' mansion?
If we can prove Wickles is behind this mystery goes down like a .com. Mystery goes down like a .com. Mystery goes down like a .com.
What does that mean? Like you scroll down or going offline or something else completely? I had no idea. My cursory Google search and look on Urban Dictionary unearthed nothing of value. I was at a loss. And while watching a completely different video, I heard it.
Winner-take-all, growth-obsessed mindset, a mindset that we can trace to many of our crises in recent decades, the dot-com bubble.
When I mentioned this to my mom later, she understood immediately. But for those of you young enough to not get Fred's reference, what is the dot-com bubble? And how in the world am I going to tie this back to Scooby Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed? Back in the late 90s, everyone was pretty hyped about this whole internet thing. So hyped that they forgot that companies are supposed to make money. Stocks are a little piece of a company that you own. Generally, the way you make money on them is to buy when they're cheaper and sell them when they're more expensive. Stock prices are determined by supply and demand. A lot of people wanted a piece of the internet pie, which made the slices very expensive. The dot-com companies were being valued at ridiculous prices.
There was this preposterous period that might have lasted 2 years when everybody felt that the laws of gravity had been suspended.
There were a lot of business plans that would have a section of the business plan that said, and then a miracle happens, and out the other side comes the product.
Eventually, in March 2000, due to a variety of factors, including the Feds raising the interest rate, investors got spooked. And they started to pull out their money, which caused the stock prices to plummet and killed a ton of dot-com companies. For example, Pets.com raised $82.5 million from selling stock to the public. But by November of that year, they were out of business. Pets.com now redirects to the PetSmart website, and lots of people lost their jobs as a result of the dot-com bubble bursting. In a way, Monsters Unleashed is kind of similar to the dot-com bubble. It made over $94 million less than its absolutely worse predecessor. They anticipated enough success that they planned to make a full trilogy, but Monsters Unleashed tanked the last movie. Many of the character arcs in Monsters Unleashed are about living past the expectations of others, but that would not be happening here. Monsters Unleashed and the dot-com bubble both contained unrealistic high hopes and immense disappointment. But even if the movie wasn't good enough for critics or audiences or for me to rewatch anytime soon, I still think there was something there. Despite the cheese and the atrocious CGI and the lackluster unsolvable mystery, the fun I had as a kid is worth being nostalgic for. Just like being nostalgic for the uncontainable excitement for the new world of the internet, or the version of me without a good eye for a bad special effect. Thanks for watching, and I'm gonna go put up a new entry on Urban Dictionary.